The Neatness Network is getting even bigger.
And I'll just go ahead and say it, you know what I'm saying? Which is why I'm happy that you're joining the Neatness Network. I never want my people to feel like, hey, I need something from you in order for us to have a relationship.
It's the difference between commissionships and relationships.
Now, before we hop into today's show, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's jump into the video.
So just, man, I asked you back to the show for a couple of reasons, man. You've been in network marketing for how long?
Bro, since I was 18, so let's say 18 years.
18 years.
On and off, yep. 18
On and
years.
off, 18 years. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes, man, you know, I've had a lot of people be in my DMs and a lot of people in the comments, I'm a man, network marketing is a scam, network marketing. Like really have a real conversation about network marketing.
Yeah.
You know, everything sounds so good, but I don't hear nobody saying the truth about network marketing. Mm-hmm. And so, man, I really just want to have a truth because I think a lot of my people are looking for ways to make money.
Right.
And one of those ways, they'll get approached by someone and be like, hey, have you considered joining this company?
Right.
And I wanted to ask you a question. Are all network marketing companies 100% solid? As in, are there some things that we should honestly be aware of when it comes to network marketing companies?
Yeah, I think so, bro. I think it's a lot of things to look for. First of all, I just want to say proud of you, what you've been doing, man.
Oh, man, thanks,
Every
bro.
time I come back, the elevation is irrelevant. And you know, I just see it everywhere. I'm like, this brother is just doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? But it's evident on you, and you know, just the way you continue to operate with a high level of principles, and you know, I just love to watch it and observe it.
Appreciate it, man.
To the question, I think it's you know, I think it's a lot of good things. You know, I think from a you know, I've been on both sides. Like coming in network marketing, I had no experience. I came literally from I was still in high school when I started.
Okay.
Our best friend Isaac called me. It was like, hey man, this is an opportunity I want you to look at. I was like, okay, cool. It was settling legal insurance, legal shield.
Yeah, legal shield.
And I was like, okay, cool. I didn't have no illegal problems. It was like, you know, $17 a month. I was like, okay, let me try it. You know, they were paying some upfront commissions. And I learned about like, you know, making like introductory sales. So I think for any entrepreneur, it's a good breeding ground for you at the beginning.
Okay.
I think you learn a lot of skills. To me, a great place to learn those skills is either network marketing or door-to-door sales. And I did both. You just learn a lot of stuff really, really quick about, you know, communication and how to talk to people and handling rejection, because you're gonna run across that stuff everywhere.
Yes. Yeah.
I think, you know, some of the misconceptions, because one, I don't think there's any company that's perfect. I'll just put that there. But I think you do have to find a company that works for you. I was taught, man, typically people are really good at selling a physical product, or they're really good at selling an idea or a non-tangible product. So like, and for me, I just had to be honest in my career, which one I'm good at. And that's like, okay, I like products, but I don't like to sell them. But I'm really good with ideas. So if it's something like virtual or something that's like, you know, some type of, not like a tangible, like, hey, go drink this. Yeah. I'm really good with that.
Okay.
And there's some people, they're like, man, I don't really like things I can't touch and show people and give them an experience. And I think a person has to figure out, okay, which side do I think I'm kind of leaning to?
Yeah.
Because if you're more of a hands-on product, testimonial, from that experience, from that side, you may need to go that route. But if you're like, hey, man, I just like the ideas, maybe, and I mean, there's network marketing companies that do insurance. There's network marketing companies that do trading and investing, and you know, there's so many other ways that you can do it. I mean, it's literally network marketing for every product, even dog food.
Right.
It's crazy, but it's
everything.
Everything. But I think that's one. I always look at the leadership of the company, bro. I think one of the sides that a lot of people don't really talk about in network marketing is not really the beginning. So it's funny, I talk to leaders about this all the time. I'm like, listen, there's a part of network marketing where you go from not being free. So you're like, man, I'm not making no money. So you go from like 0 to like 10,000 a month or 25,000 a month. Then you get this area of like, okay, man, I'm a little free. You feel like, okay, man, I can do a little bit of what I want to do, how I want to do it. And then you cross over to when you start making, you know, 50,000, 100,000 a month.
Yeah.
To where you go from not being free anymore, because now you got these constraints and you know, regulations and you know, compliance, and now it's like, oh, well, if you can't post that because we don't want you know, people to feel some kind of way about this. And I'm like, okay, man, that ain't what this was about. You know what I'm saying? Like I've literally told people, like, you go from like I can't do what I want to do, to I can do what I want to do, so hey, no,
now
you can't do what you want to do. And I think that's something that if you look at the top leaders in network marketing companies, I think this is more of a conversation with the owners too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times the owners come from nothing. And so they cool with everything.
Right.
Until they get something.
Right.
And then when they get something, it's like, hey.
Right.
No, we don't want you to do that. I mean, I've been in some companies, bro. It's like you leave, they're like, well, you can't take our people. I'm like, but what people did you do presentations for? You ain't been in their living room with me. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. I don't knock the industry because I think every industry has pros and cons.
Absolutely.
I've sold a lot of different products, and like door to door was a great business, but I was like, man, I'm 6'5", I'm black. That ain't the best place for me to be. Just not, you know what I'm saying? I don't need to be just in any neighborhood, all over the place. I remember I was knocking in one neighborhood. I got booked like overnight because they said I didn't have a solicitation permit, and I did. I had one.
What?
They took it from me, and then they still put me in the holding cell. And then the next morning I went to the judge. He was like, "Oh, do you have a solicitation permit?" I was like, "Yes." He said, "Okay, you're free to go." I'm like, this is discrimination.
Wow.
And it was crazy. Listen. I'm gonna tell you a story.
Wow.
We're in this neighborhood, we're selling alarm systems at the time. Get pulled over, cops pull us over. It's like, sir, you guys have your solicitation permit? He's like, yeah, here you go, give it to him. Comes back, he's all right, can you guys step out of the vehicle? He's like, sure, no problem. He was like, I was like, officer, what's going on? He said, can you step back, please? I was like, absolutely. He said, can you turn around? I said, yes, sir, no problem. He's like, can you put your hands behind your back? I said, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on? I said, oh, really? Is this happening right now? And I realized it now what it was. It was racial.
You were black.
Yeah, I was black, and I was like, that was the day I knew that wasn't for me. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, I can make good money here, but I don't like this.
Yeah.
And then, I've done insurance, and that was cool for a little while, and I realized people don't like to talk to me about death.
Right.
And at the time I was young, I didn't really have a network for that.
Yep.
And so when I figured out, okay, these are the things I'd like to do, I had to find a way to be able to do it. But, a lot of owners, I really feel like it's the owners that have really kind of made it where it's not as fun for like higher level leaders. I was talking to a guy after I left my last company. He was like, man, you should come over here to this company. I was like, bro, I can't go there. The owner's known for suing people. He was like, but here's the thing. If you go to a place you would never want to leave, then you don't have to worry about that. I said, no, sir. Why would I knowingly go to a place that if I want to do something else that you're just not cool with?
And you're going to sue me.
Because we live in America.
Right.
I can sue you for anything.
Anything.
And you don't have to do it wrong. I can just sue you tomorrow and be like, hey, now you got to spend money
to defend myself.
To defend it. Most of these owners they're not trying to like
win.
They're not trying to win. They just want it to cost you money. And so I feel like that won't change until there's enough leaders that say, listen,
let's just make it right.
Let's just do this the right way.
Yeah.
And let's really build what it's supposed to be built on. Yeah. Because I do feel like network marketing is changing. I think a lot of it has to do with how companies are being run. And I think the education and the internet is changing stuff too. It's like, education is changing. And I just think there's some things a person can learn how to do for themselves.
Absolutely.
That a company used to provide.
Yep.
But there are some benefits to what companies do provide.
Are you ready to transform your career in 2023? I want you to consider Bethel School of Technology, the world's only Christian online tech bootcamp. With African Americans representing just 7.9% of the tech workforce in the U.S., it's time to bridge that gap and create more opportunities for everyone in this booming industry. Bethel Tech is committed, and I mean this, they're committed to providing accessible, lucrative, and fulfilling tech careers for all individuals. In their comprehensive 9-month program, you'll master essential skills to kickstart your technology career today. The earning potential is crazy impressive. Indeed reports that software developers in the U.S. earn, on average, about $103,000 per year. What? Choose from programs like cybersecurity and UI/UX design and ignite your tech career with passion and with purpose. Forget about accumulating and racking up debt and invest just 9 months to revolutionize the next 9 years of your professional life. Embrace your potential with Bethel Tech and achieve your career aspirations today. Hey, visit anthonyoneal.com/Bethel or click the link in today's show notes to register and take the first step towards a bright future in technology. Hey, talking about a bright future, let's get back to today's show.
So to give you an example, when I first got started in network marketing, I didn't have any success.
Okay.
So now I could borrow the success of my mentor.
Yep.
So now it's like, hey, don't look at me. I'm talking to this guy. Look at him. And then I could borrow the influence. I could learn.
Yep.
I could be growing and making money until I could develop my own influence. And that's one of the benefits I think that you get. You get the mentorship. So like David, you had my mentor on here before.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is a guy that was making, over 7 figures a month.
A month.
So how do I get him to mentor me?
Right.
Like, it wouldn't be like that time to join that company was $195 and $175 a month.
Wow.
That gave me access
to David.
to David.
Right.
Had I not been a part of that company, it doesn't happen that way.
No.
You know why? Because I went to one of his masterminds. His mastermind was $30,000.
Ooh.
So, man, which one was better? Now, granted, I had to be a leader.
Yeah.
I had to step up, and I had to earn that position.
Right.
But which one was more economical for me?
Yeah.
As a new entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And so that's when you look at the pros and cons, there's definitely cons that I just think that a lot of people don't talk about, but it's because you got to think about it, network marketing, not that many people make it to the top.
No. I mean, what is it like? What? Not even 10% make it to the top?
I was about to say less than 1%.
Less than 1%?
Less than 1%. Like the industry, for sure.
And you were in the 1%?
Yeah, for sure, yeah. I would definitely, I'd say I'm probably in the top half of the 1% of the industry. I mean, I don't, because you're making $10,000 a month, you're doing good in the industry.
You're great.
You get over 6 figures a month, you get into like a whole different world. And if you do that for a couple years,
you're doing well.
You're doing really well. And I think there's just things that you learn on the other side. Man, like it's literally, bro, there's people that I know are friends with people. And they don't even talk to them because it's like, man, you left the company. And I'm like,
that's sad.
That's one of the few industries where I'm like, okay. And I'm not saying that it doesn't happen in other places, but it's prevalent.
No, it definitely happens.
Yeah, it happens
in other places.
Yes, and I think we've had discussions just on. I think something that leaders have to really learn is how to honor the exit.
Absolutely.
On both sides, because we're taught as mentees, like, okay, how do we go about honoring the relationship? But like now, when it's time to step away, how do you do that? And there's some people that I've seen do it really, really well.
Yeah.
Like my mentor's been a great example. There's some other people I've seen do it well and handle it as good as they possibly can, because that is a part of the growth and elevation.
Yeah.
But I think that's something that's very prevalent in most of the industry.
You really got to be a good leader to transition. When I think about my two big transitions, I had two huge ones, going from Bethel Church, which is Bishop Rudolph McKissick Jr. to Dave Ramsey, then from Dave Ramsey and Ramsey Solutions out on my own. When I transitioned from the church world to Ramsey, I'll never forget, I had an honest conversation with my bishop over lunch, and I told him what I was doing. I honored him on the way out. Dave called him, emailed him. They had a conversation.
Yep.
And Dave even flew him up to the office just to sit down, just to meet him one-on-one, just to thank him for everything he allowed me to do at his platform and to allow us a smooth transition. Yeah. Bishop McKissick honored me on the transition out.
Wow.
Then I'm with Dave for 6.5 years. He and I both agree that it's time for us, for me to transition out and do my own thing. And that transition was great. We embraced each other for a good solid minute and a half on our last day talking when I was a part of the company. We've talked since then. Yeah. And even went to one of their, when they released our documentary. And just, you're right, it takes true leaders to have a smooth transition.
Yeah, for sure.
And it doesn't have to be ugly. Yeah. It doesn't have to be negative. And here's the truth. Clearly you're transitioning because you're just not aligned anymore. Correct. But non-alignment doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. Correct. It's just like, hey, I'm moving on. I'm not going in this direction anymore. I want to go a different direction. And so, hey, let's transition and do this thing correctly. And so when I hear about the bad transitions, it's not just on the employee or the employer. It just means that, honestly, what I'm grateful for is the leaders that I transitioned from started that process.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think
that has to happen. Yeah. But on the network marketing side, bro, one thing that got me, because I did Legal Shield too as well.
Okay, there we go. Shout out Legal Shield.
Yeah, Legal Shield was my thing. And actually, I think it was like 2 years before they came Legal Shield, they were prepaid legal.
Prepaid legal, yeah.
And so I did prepaid legal. Darnell Self was my upline.
Yeah, that's the guy.
One of the most.
Team New Vision.
Team New Vision, yeah. And man, love it. One of the things I would definitely say out of respectfully was they sell you on you're free. They'll sell you on you have your own company. You could do what you want to do and when you want to do it. But a part of me, and correct me if I'm wrong, because you was in there for a lot longer than me. I was only in there for 4 years, and I did pretty decent. I did like $5,000, $3,000 to $5,000 a month. But even to get there, I was never free.
Yeah, no.
I couldn't really just do what I wanted to do and show up when I wanted to show up.
Correct.
It was almost like if I don't recruit anyone, I'm not getting paid.
Correct.
So it's not like you just get in this thing, work, and then, hey, you can go off to Hawaii for a month.
Correct.
And I was like, no. And to me, that doesn't really feel like ownership. It feels like I'm an employee, but I can just work from home.
Yeah. So I agree and I disagree.
Okay.
So my thought process is this: it's one, there's not a lot of things you can do and make $35,000 a month and be free.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like just
real.
being real. Because I talked to a guy in my business and he was like, man, he was kind of saying same thing, man. This is supposed to be residual. I'm like, yeah, but bro, you've only been doing this for 6 months. Like where else can you go and work for 6 months? And then you think you're just gonna leave and just have this coming in? Like, I know people that's been working for 40 years and can't stop and work and make $35,000 a month.
Yeah.
So I think some of it's expectations that have to be set
Up front.
Up front. I mean, and I do tell people that. I like, listen, it's going to be hard for at least
2 years.
12, 18 months if you're working it.
Right.
Without it, it's going to be, kind of tough. Now, there's some people that sell the dream, and I think when you do that, you would just attract a person that's looking for that, and now all this stuff happens. Now, the part about recruiting, I think that just depends on what product that you're offering. Like, I've sold some educational products that all you had to do was learn, and you could utilize the skill, and you could get paid. If you do it in the insurance world, I don't have to recruit. I can just go sell customers. If I do it in the product space, I can just get really good at retailing the products. And so I think it just depends on what you're doing. Now, from a leverage standpoint, for you to be able to have freedom, you got to create leverage. It's just like a company. You've got to have employees, or you got to have people that are working with you. And so that allows you to say, okay, you know what, but I can help people do exactly what I've done. And if I help enough people, like let's say if I get to $10,000 a month and I help 10 people make $10,000 a month and they go out there and keep doing their thing, well, that's going to free me up because now I've created leaders that can now produce outside of me.
Yeah. Why do you think some people have a problem with network marketing? Every time I do this, I'm always going to blog or a blogger to talk about it. What do you think in that space? Why are people so just turned off by network marketing?
I think it's the recruiting aspect that people don't like. Okay. Especially if they haven't developed the skills. Yeah. I know for me, there was a part, like I left, so I started network marketing when I was 18. I left like when I was right around 20. And I was like, man, I don't want to recruit nobody. So I got in sales and I was doing door-to-door sales. Okay. And then I was like, man, I don't be knocking on doors no more. I need to be able to have some leverage. And I was like, man, to be able to do that, I got to recruit some people. Yeah. Because I had got a contract with a sales company, and I was like, okay, I got to recruit some people for me to be free. Yeah. And then I was like, man, I'm not good at it. And what I realized is the reason I didn't like it because I wasn't good at it. Typically, people don't like something they're not good at. If you're really good at it, you'll enjoy it. If not, and like I didn't at the beginning, I was like, okay, I got to find a way to make some money without people. I think the other thing is you got to be really, really good to make good money.
That's true.
But I don't think that's the case with any other space. Like
that's true.
I mean, podcasting.
Yeah, you got to be really good at it.
You got to be really good to make some money. You know, basketball. Yeah. You got to be really good to make some money.
And you got to be really, really good on your job to get an elevation.
Yeah, so it's like...
And to get a promotion.
I don't know of a place that you can go and not be really, really good and operate at a high level. Yeah. But in network marketing, I think, depending on who shows you the presentation... Yeah. It could be sold that way. Yeah. And that's where the mistake is. The other part, I think, is just a miseducation of people not really understanding business. Because people are like, well, if it's a business, why do I have to pay? Like, sir, you're paying $150 a month.
Studies are showing nearly right now, currently in the year 2023, that nearly 70% of people live in paycheck to paycheck. When you dive deeper into the study reveals that out of that 70%, a large portion of those are people who make over 6 figures. These are people who are living paycheck to paycheck because of inflation, because of job loss. But a lot of people saying, man, we have an income problem. And here's the truth. We don't really have an income problem. We have a lack of utilizing our gifts and skills problem. You have the skills, you have the talents that God put on inside of you. And I want to ask you this question. I want to be very honest. Are you utilizing them correctly? Or are you just going to work, getting that check, coming home, and not really utilizing your gifts and skills to build wealth to pay off debt? Well, listen, I am hosting a 100% free masterclass here with the next few days, and I'm teaching people how to build a personal brand, how to use the gifts and the skills that God put on the inside of you and turn that into an extra $1,000 to $5,000 a month to go towards paying off debt, to go towards, building an emergency fund, to go towards building a dream home. But I want to go even a step further. What if you can use the same principles I'm going to be teaching for free? You make an extra $1,000 to $5,000, but what happens if you could turn it into a 6-figure income or maybe a 7-figure income within the next couple of years? Well, if you are ready to take control of your money, if you're ready to utilize the gifts and the skills God has given you to build a legacy, to build wealth for yourself, can you meet me? I want you to go to anthonyoneal.com/save my seat. Again, that is anthonyoneal.com/save my seat. Or you can click the link in today's show notes. It's 100% free. Come join me. Let me show you how my team and I, built a 7-figure brand and how we can put $1,000 in your pocket for the next 30 to 60 days. I'll see you soon.
Anthony, you're not in network marketing.
Right.
But if I could take your business model
I'm paying.
And turn it to $150 a month.
I'm paying.
You're like, that's a steal.
That's a steal.
So here's what helped me realize that. When I left network marketing, and then I started my own sales company, and then I had the real overhead of a business.
Yeah.
The office, the employees, the insurance. When you start paying people's on W-2s,
yeah.
And then you got to match their taxes. I didn't know this because I called the payroll company. I was like, hey, y'all took out taxes on my side too. They was like, no. You got to match that.
Bro, I just talked about that on my last show.
I was like, bro,
it's people want to be an entrepreneur, man, but they don't understand.
Bro,
no one really teaches you the truth about this entrepreneurship space. It happened to me too. My first employee was me.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, so you was double taxing yourself. You like, hey, we got this quick.
I called Gusto quick. I was like, I got my check. I was like, okay, my taxes are cool, great. Then I go on Gusto and I see, wait, what? Y'all double tax me. I called them and was like, hey man, we got a problem. What's the problem?
Yes.
I said, y'all double tax me.
I called ADP with the same. I was like, whoa, something's going on, because there's another thing that came out. It's like, no, that's the employer's contribution. I said, oh no,
bro.
So here's the other thing. When I came back to network marketing after that transition, now network marketing looked easy to me. When I first was in it, like, bro, I used to be, one of the products I was selling one time was Tahitian Noni juice. Shout out to them. And the auto ship was $145 a month. Mm-hmm. And I was younger then. I think I was 19.
Yeah.
Bro, I would literally find out what day the auto ship was due, and I would run to the bank, withdraw my $150 so they didn't take it. And then after it declined, then I put it back in the bank account. And then the company started getting smart. They'll try again a couple days. I was like, oh, these dudes have got smart. So I went from that to like, okay, man, this thing's expensive. How do I get away from it? To, wait a minute, this is actually a cheap way to do business, because now my overhead, no matter how much I make, is $150 a month or $200 a month.
Yeah.
What if I want to open in Africa? It's the same overhead. What if I want to open in California? It's the same overhead. Yeah. What if I want to open up Latin America? It's the same overhead. So now I can scale my company, and the only other thing that could come with it is, now there's something else that sometimes leaders have to be careful of. As you start making more money, you can spend a lot of money on meals.
Yep.
You can spend a lot of money on flights.
Yep.
Traveling. And so one thing you have to be careful of as you start making more money is not over-investing into your business.
Yes.
Because you can be like, okay, man, I'm making $20,000 a month. Let me go on this tour. And the tour costs you $15,000 a month. Because now every night you go out to dinner, everybody wants you to pay for dinner.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We had to make some adjustments to that. I was like, hold on, give me the menu. I'm gonna order for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not just gonna just be eating on just and down. But this is stuff like mentor. But that's the thing. Guess what? Mentorship taught me that. He was like, no. We don't do it like that. Let me show you how you handle this. Now, if you have your leaders, there's ways to handle that. And so I think that's another thing that some people get discouraged from, is they sometimes put too much back into their business where they don't have anything left. And then some people don't save for taxes, and they get into challenges with that. Something else, I will tell you this. There is something else about network marketing I think is a challenge. If I'm sitting down with you, Anthony, and you've got a company, and I have some people, maybe I've been in the industry before, and I have some people currently with me, and I sign up for your company, you're okay if I bring people with me, right?
But you're not okay.
But now, when I leave you,
right,
and I go do the very thing that you were just happy about that happened for you,
You're not happy.
Now you're not happy about it. So instead of you saying, you know what, man, Justin, I really wish it would be like this. I really wish network marketing would be like, hey, man, you know what? We were together for 5 years. We made a lot of money together, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, yeah.
Any way I can help out in the future, bro, I appreciate that.
Right.
Instead, what it turns into is like, we was cool today. Now it's, we talk about you, talk about your family, talk about how you ain't no good. And it's like, man, wow, man, we was just kicking it together. You know what I'm saying?
That's not even in network marketing. I said this before at a particular organization I was with, and my coworkers got upset when I said this. They was like, "What's up, my friend?" And they kept saying that. And so let me ask you this question: if I was to leave, are we still friends? And one of my coworkers said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, such and such just left about 2 months ago. When's the last time you talked to that individual?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You were just talking about such and such in a negative way. Friends would call. Friends would not talk. Friends would honor, respect their transition.
Yep.
But we're only friends if we're working together and making each other money.
Correct.
But we're not friends if we disagree on something and that particular person or myself decide to go a different route to a different organization or whatever, right? So you're right, man. I wish people would get that. Like, if someone does leave, it's like, just because now it doesn't benefit your pocket doesn't mean that they're less than.
And that's the key piece. My boy Cam, he said it to me. He was like, it's the difference between commissionships and relationships.
Ooh, commissionships. Good.
He said, and I'm like, yo, it's really, because it's like, there's some people that the only connection of them having a relationship is commissions. Is what money I'm making. And as soon as that's done, guess what? The relationship is done. And you know, honestly, I prefer, if it's gonna be that, let's just call it that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, bro, last company I was with, I didn't even really want to get to know nobody, because I was like, you know what? I don't even want to have no relationship with nobody.
Yeah.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because it ain't necessary. I can go out here, I can make my money, and I can do my thing. I can be with my people, because it should be that way. Like, I've had some people be like, hey, people so-and-so left your company. You still cool with them? I'm like, yeah, we just went to dinner. Yeah, they was just at the crib. They were like, for real? I'm like, yeah, I don't just say this.
Right.
You don't have to, like, because I don't believe if you leave my company, you left me.
Right.
I don't believe if you left my team, you left me.
Right.
Life is long, bro.
Right.
And so I think when you do stuff like that, when a person does it, they're not thinking long term. Life is way much, it's so much bigger than just you're in my company today. What about the investments we're gonna be making in 5 years from now?
Come on, bro.
What about the opportunities that come 15 years from now?
Right.
But because I left your team today, we're gonna we're gonna burn that whole bridge.
Facts.
That's not smart.
It's not smart, man. Yeah. But then I think the most valuable thing we can have are relationships.
Oh, bro.
Because there's things that you've connected me with that money could not have done.
Yeah, absolutely.
And vice versa.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, everyone, we're always looking like, oh, is this person making me money? But I'm like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? I remember, without putting too much of our business out there, I was like, hey, bro, I'm going to be in New York. Can you connect me with this such and such? You just made the phone call, and I'm in such and such.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's relationship.
Yeah, it's relationship.
You know what I'm saying? And we don't make each other money yet. We're going to make an announcement.
Yeah. That's changed now, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Up until now, you know what I'm saying?
But that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be organic and authentic.
Right.
And if it happens, it happens.
And we should be able to, which is why, and I'll just go ahead and say it, you know what I'm saying, which is why I'm happy that you're joining the Neatness Network.
Yeah, sure.
Justin is now a part of the Neatness Network. He has his own show called Run the Play. Yes. And it is a thriving show that is booming, that is really, I like to call him the young black version of John Maxwell. Like, he's going to help you think, grow in leadership, help you lead people, help you build a business off of authentic leadership. And up until this point, bro, we've just had some genuine friendships, some real good, honest conversations, and just vibing and chilling. And I think leaders need to have that and understand that relationships are valuable. I think your gift, bro, is you know how to maintain relationships.
Yeah.
Like, that is your gift. One of the things that I've learned from Justin is I went to do your show, and Justin gave me, I'm a golfer, and Justin gave me, as a gift of being on his show, he gave me a gift. And I was like, yo, that's relationships. Thank you.
Yeah.
And now I couldn't carry it on the airplane. It was like, all right, you had your assistant ship it to me.
Yeah.
I was like, bruh, no lie. I got on the flight, I called Michelle. I said, hey, we're gonna start giving away gifts.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So we got a gift for you after the show.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like you learn that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like when you value relationships and you treat people right.
Yeah.
That goes so further, right?
Yeah.
And I think that is so important. And I want to talk about that in the last few minutes of our show. When people listen to your show, Run the Play, what exactly are they going to get with you being on the Neatness Network and following you and subscribing? What are you bringing to the table? What's missing in this personal development space that the Run the Play podcast and show is going to bring answers to?
Yeah, I think one of them you just talked about is like the relationship piece.
That's so good.
I talk about that pretty much every episode,
Okay.
especially when I have people coming in, because I always like to at least learn one or two superpowers from each individual person that's won.
Yeah.
On like, how do you maintain relationships personally?
Yeah.
But also, I feel like a person can learn how to be able to lead in their own style.
Yeah.
When I first got started in business, I was trying to just model everybody.
Yep.
Instead of saying, okay, I'm gonna still be Justin.
Yeah.
But can I pick up the principles?
Yeah.
Without changing who I am as a person, and not saying I don't grow as a person, but like still being me. Like I'm still gonna laugh, I'm still gonna joke, I'm still gonna play around professionally. But at the beginning, I was like so stoic and just I wasn't even a nice person to be around because I had kind of lost myself in it. So I just focus on like people really being true to themselves, and it's Run the Play. So we do a lot of straight talk as well, like no fluff when it comes to like things that a person needs to be doing. But I always give people plays from either my personal playbook when it comes to business, entrepreneurship, branding, content, and then also the guests and stuff that come on.
Man, I love it. I love it. I want y'all to watch this quick clip real quick of Run and Play. Check it out.
What's going on, everybody? This is Justin Owens back with the Run and Play show.
Play. Let's go. Know what it's like.
As I grew in my belief and I grew in my leadership status, my income grew.
Every day facing your fear, but believing that your blessing is near. Do you know what it's like?
I ain't got no Bible, no booty sleeping next to me, you know what I'm saying?
Do you know what it's like? Yeah.
You want it badly, what's going to happen is, no matter what the circumstances are, you're not going to let that discourage you or quit.
Weapon, it just needs to be unlocked. See, it starts with your faith. It starts with your mind. The world tell you that you late, but you actually on time. See, it's the passion that'll build you.
You got to play. All you got to do now, you got to go run it.
Run the play.
So, bro, what is like, I think one of the key ingredients to building a successful personal brand, I'm always talking about personal brand, getting out of debt and building wealth, is you got to have a strategic plan. You got to follow strategy. And you teach Running a Play, which is also, here's the strategy to winning.
Yeah.
What is one strategy to building, let's say, because I think a lot of people struggle with relationships.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people struggle with maintaining relationships because some of us are introverts. I'm naturally introvert.
Yeah.
So like doing this, I'm excited about it, but as soon as I get it done, bro, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like I want to go upstairs and I just want to be by myself. I think sometimes introverts struggle with maintaining and building relationships. What is one strategy that you've learned over your 18 years of network marketing and building a humongous team? I mean, if you walk into Atlanta, y'all, everywhere me and him went, a lot of people knew Justin.
Yeah.
And what's so funny is they all look up to you, bro, and they always talking about how thank you for this and thank you for that. And, man, you did this for me, man. Thank you so much. We walk into the restaurant, the chef come out. I'm like, dang, Justin?
Yeah.
The chef? What is one strategy to building a healthy friendship relationship with individuals that doesn't even benefit you financially?
I was gonna say that's the thing. Like, I'm just trying to build a relationship without any intentions. Like, literally, there are some people, and I think everybody has to do it. Like, even with us in our relationship, it's like, okay, let me just see is he trying to get something from me, or vice versa? Not that we felt that, but
Right.
you have to just kind of go, like, let time pass and be a genuine person. So the person can say, okay, I've researched,
Yeah.
and I've seen them in enough environments. Like, this is who they really are.
Right.
And I think if you learn to build relationships with no hidden strategy behind it, it's almost like the person that does marketing only to sell you. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that either.
Yep.
But you just know who it is if that's their only purpose. And I think, you know, sometimes with relationships, especially in the entrepreneurship space, I've seen it a lot where people just literally develop friendships temporarily just to, you know, take somebody's network or get in front of some people's audience, or sometimes people do it just to retarget your audience. You know what I'm saying? Let me take a picture, do a video, so now I can run ads to your audience. Like, it's a whole game, I think.
Bro, it's a whole game.
So once you get past all that, I think that's one of the things that's really worked for me. And it's one philosophy I always stick with, is just like being a better friend to people than they are to you.
That's so good.
That's because if you're so a person like me, sometimes like when I was younger, I'd be like, man, dang, I be doing all this stuff for people, they don't do nothing. And I'm like, you know what, bump that. I'm gonna just be a good person.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's just gonna speak for itself.
Right.
And my mom taught me that. She was like, son, you don't gotta worry about trying to like get people to do like you're doing. Just be who you are.
Yep.
And she was like, enough people are gonna like it, you're gonna be fine.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, cool, you know what? I'm gonna just be a good person. And that checking in with people consistently, and just like, you know, you just gotta get a chance to listen to people. Like, you know, I heard you talking about golf. I wasn't like, all right. Yeah. It just when the time came up, I was like, okay, he likes golf. Let's see what we can do that makes sense for golf. And so it's listening. Yeah. Being, you know, that's what friends should do.
Yeah, man. I didn't know when I bought my first, I won't say watch, the name of the watch, it's no one's business. But, man, you gave me the thing that keeps it running. I was like, man, he's all right.
Oh, damn, I did buy you the thing.
Yeah, on Amazon, bro. Yeah. We talked about it, and the next day it's in my mail. And I'm like, what the heck, Alex? So it's like, and I think that's very, very important to just build relationships. And I've been doing that. Like Darius Daniels is a good friend of mine. Keon Henderson is a good friend of mine. And whenever they do events, man, I buy tickets. I don't call them like, hey man, can I get in for free? No, I buy tickets and I show up. Yeah. Now, do they take care of me when I'm there?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's like, I support. One of my good friends, Todd Gabrich, just went on he just did his live recording. Good friend, known him since Fayetteville. We've been since we were teens. Gave him $5,000.
Wow.
Just to help out with his recording. He been on tour, bought tickets, showed up. He took care of me, but I'm like, it's all about the relationship. I never want my people to feel like, hey, I need something from you in order for us to have a relationship. And I think that's very, very important. And some of you are watching right now. Here's the reason why I really want y'all to get connected with Justin. Subscribe to his YouTube channel, subscribe to his podcast, and listen to every show, because some of you are in a career space. And one of the reasons why you're not able to get that job promotion is because you haven't been good at the relationship piece. Not just with your upline, not with just your leaders, but leaders are also looking at, do your peers respect you? Do your peers value you? Do your peers look at you as a leader already before you're a leader? Correct. And a huge part of that is relationships. You know? And if you want to be elevated, then the people on your level have to respect you, and the people up top have to respect you at that. And here's the thing too. Let's say you are a leader and your downline doesn't respect you. One of the things I've been very big at is trying to get me and my team out of the studio, because it's stressful. If you work for me, I like to go. You know what I'm saying? I like to run, and that could be stressful for me because I'm very big on excellence. And one of the things I've learned is, all right, cool, some days we just need to get away. Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, I'll buy suites to concerts. You know, and just say, you know what, y'all eat, I'll buy the suites, let's have a good one.
Shout out to the Neatness Network. Just came at the right time. Okay, here we go.
You coming with us to the Drake one?
Yeah.
So you know, I bought the studio for Drake. I tell them, hey, bring your spouses. And my guys are married. And what was so funny is they stay with me when it's recording time. But when they brought their spouse, I was like, hey, listen, after that concert, y'all gonna get a broom. Fact. Hey, no one getting down in my house.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But it's like, I want their spouses, I want their family to know, like, hey, to build something at what we're building, it is going to be stressful. But I also respect the fact that, hey, I want to make sure that we have a solid relationship.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? Because we have the hard conversations. They are tough conversations, but at the same time, I want them to know I respect them, I value them, and here, do your thing. Christmas, I give them all a huge bonus.
Yeah.
Because I value the relationship. So it's like if you are struggling in that area of getting your people to like you, follow you, and really it's not about like, but respect you and value you. I need you to listen to this podcast. If you're really trying to elevate in that personal development space and that leadership space, I need you to lock in with Justin over there at Run the Play, and he's gonna give you the playbook. Here's what I learned. If you have a person who's been successful for 18 years, put in over 12,000 hours, he's already have the proven system. Successful people follow the proven system. There's no need for you to write the brand new playbook. You get the playbook. You may have to adapt it a little bit to yourself, but 80% of the work is done.
Yeah.
You got to just adapt it to you. And this is a podcast. This is a show that I want y'all to lock in on because the Neatness Network is all about a lot of us aim for perfection and then we get depressed because we'll never get there. We're not God. We're not Jesus. A lot of us saying our careers are messy. Our money is messy. Our relationships are messy. And my philosophy is if every single day we can focus on just being neat, every single day we get better.
Yeah.
Every single day we're growing. Every single day we are evolving. And that's why my brother is on the show. We've been talking about this for a whole year. He didn't think I was going to do this.
Yeah.
But I had to watch him. I ain't going to lie. I had to see if he's going to be consistent. You know what I'm saying?
for
And the man has been consistent and he's impacting. I mean, he's had some major names on the show, from E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher, from 9 to 5 Millionaire, Darius Daniels, myself, Ronnie, and some other big names, athletes, NBA coaches. So he has a lot of influence, and I promise you'll learn from that. So we'll drop all of his information in today's show notes. Check it out, subscribe. He is officially part of the family now, so y'all be seeing him at least once a quarter on the show, just giving us some playbook on how to grow and evolve as leaders. And you'll be seeing some of our people in his show as well. So, man, bro, welcome
Thank
to
you,
the
bro.
fam, man.
I
You know what I'm
appreciate
saying?
that,
Welcome to
man.
the fam, Doc. You know what I'm saying?
Glad
I
to be
like
here.
that dude right here. You know what I'm saying? He all right with me.
My brother. You know what I'm saying?
He all right with me, my nigga. You know, oh, shoot. I don't hear that in the comments.
I know.
Oh, Jesus. Don't even edit it out, see.
Hey, man, that's how we talk, man. That's how we talk.
It is what it is. I said it. You know what I'm saying?
It is what it is.
It is what it is. But yo, man, we love you all. And if you're thinking about going to network marketing space, it's not. Let me say this, and some people may not like the fact that I say this. It's not a scam.
No, it's not.
It's
By far.
It's not a scam. You know what I'm saying? You have to identify if it's something that you want to do, and if it's not, go a different route. But I think sometimes something that may not be. What's the correct word for me to say this? Something that may not line up with me morally doesn't mean that it is a scam or it's wrong.
Yeah.
It just simply means it doesn't align with what I want to do in life. For my vision in life, cool, you keep going. But there are a lot of people who are making good money in that. And I respect. I have a lot of my family members are in Avon.
Yeah.
My aunt got a pink caddy.
Bro, listen. There are so many entrepreneurs that people look up to now.
Yeah.
In the back of their story, maybe early on,
Is network marketing?
is network marketing.
Yeah.
And most of them will tell you, I learned something from it.
Absolutely.
And I think if you could just get that something,
Yeah.
Because to me, entrepreneurship is still a school.
Yeah.
You know, people feel like they don't need education. No, you gotta get education. You're gonna pay one way. You're either gonna pay with money or you're gonna pay with time.
Yeah.
And you learn so much from that space that literally makes it to where, like, you know, we even had conversations about the podcast. I was like, okay, you gave me what I need to do. I was like, okay, cool, we're gonna go to work.
Right.
And it wasn't just like waiting, sitting and why? Because I've been in business, so it's like somebody gives me assignments.
Right.
And I go run the play.
And you ran the play.
It's literally that simple.
Yeah.
I don't overcomplicate stuff, and I think some people, if they go through the industry, they can learn those lessons. And then guess what? I have other businesses outside of network marketing.
Yeah.
And I apply a lot of the things I learned there to those other businesses.
That's so good, bro.
Yeah.
That's so good. Yo, Justin Owens is in the building, y'all. Run the play. Go check him out. And you'll be seeing a lot more of him. And I'm telling y'all, man, he's going to be at 100,000 subscribers before we know it. He's going to be at 100,000 downloads per show before we know it. And I think he is the voice of young leadership today, y'all. So go check them out, and we'll see you in the next show. Peace out, y'all.